Well, what do we know about Indonesia, other than it's the largest Muslim democracy in the world? Well, it so happens that Indonesia is one of the 4 best opportunity markets in Asia Pacific. And it actually was a part of what's now called Mint. Many of you have heard of BRICS, term coined by Jim O'Neill of Goldman Sachs. Well, Jim O'Neill has another term out now, an acronym called Mint. And the I in Mint is Indonesia. So Indonesia has a lot going for it as a food service market. And we'll cover a few points about it, and it'll give you something to think about. First thing about Indonesia, very rapid food service growth, over 8% a year, almost a $40 billion market. Very fast-growing disposable household income, over 8% a year, and very, very strong urbanization. If you look at the urbanization rate, it's growing at almost 3.5% a year, which is kind of unheard of. So people flocking into the cities, it's almost like China, have more money in their pockets, population continues to grow. What's not to like? The other thing I'd say about Indonesia is it's very much like the Philippines in that there are lots of good mall developers. A lot of beautiful malls, lots of great branding. It's hot in Indonesia like it is in the Philippines. So people like to walk around air-conditioned malls and they like to munch. Looking out in the next 5 years, I believe Indonesia will continue to get a larger share of the food service segment in Asia. So there's lots of opportunities. Not surprisingly, Indonesians love Japanese food. So probably the biggest opportunity for overseas brands is in the Japanese food area. Malls are filled with Japanese concepts, many of them locally developed. I mentioned in another video the growth of Hoka Hoka Bento, which is a very inexpensive $2 to $3 per person bento box chain, which has over 200 units, and is rapidly growing. Westernized brands continue to enter the market. Surprisingly, a Singaporean concept called Fish & Co., which is kind of a fish and chips concept, has over 15 stores in Indonesia. I was surprised to see that, and they're doing very well. And I guess the Western, more expensive Western concept that's doing the best is Pizza Express out of London, which has over 10 stores in Jakarta. The Western casual dining concepts from America are not doing that well, and the key reason is they're just too expensive. And they're really not contemporary or cool enough for the local market. So Pizza Express has kind of picked up on the greater than $10, nice environment, pizza pasta joint. And Indonesia is still very much a American QSR fast food dominated segment with the usual suspects, McDonald's, KFC. Pizza Hut in the full service segment is by far the dominant company. Like it is in most places in Asia Pacific, it's very affordable. It's kind of fast food quality, but in a very nice environment. But the full service market overall in Indonesia is highly fragmented. So what I would say overall about Indonesia, big population, rising disposable income, rising urbanization, strong food service growth to continue for the next 5 years, lots of mall and shopping center locations for your concepts. It has to be affordable. It has to be cool, and it has to be different from what's there today. And if you can bring concepts to the market to do that, then there's a lot of growth potential. The biggest segment of growth opportunity is going to be inexpensive Indonesian food, $2 to $3, that is scaled up on a mass level and can go into tier 2 and tier 3 cities. But overall, one of my top picks as a food service market in Asia Pacific, and every international food service chain who wants to be in Asia needs to be there.